flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everyone. We're in a regularly scheduled Eastland County Commissioners Court meeting. And for the record, all commissioners and county judges are here, so we do have a quorum. Also at the table are county auditor and county clerk. And it is just after 9 o'clock on the 26th of July, for the record also. We've got quite a few things to get through here today. First up is item number 1, read and sign the minutes. I think I have just one set of minutes from the meeting that we had on July the 12th at 9 o'clock.
July the 26th.
And the 26th, probably somewhere else. Heidi.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, July the 12th.
Late
You're
26th.
good.
It's only 5 months until the day after Christmas. Don't get ahead of yourself. From today.
That's depressing.
It'll be here before we know it. All right, so on these this set of minutes from July the 12th, any questions or comments? Anybody want to make a motion to accept those as presented?
Motion. Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign, and that carries. All right. Item number 2 is discuss, consider any proposed or pending contracts and agreements. And these will be ones that just came in after we did the signing, the presentation of the agenda. And I don't have any that came in late. Anybody else have anything to consider today for an agreement? Okay, no action on item 2 then. Item 3 is 911 update, cooperative dispatch update. Sheriff Wicker, yes sir.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Dispatch, going good.
Good.
We're in the process of installing the servers, computers, stuff with the CAD system. That should be done hopefully this week. He's ahead of schedule a little bit. The servers came in earlier than anticipated, so that's all working.
Okay.
And in the mix. So I've got E-Force will be down here on August 10th. They're going to do a demo with all the surrounding agencies as well, and kind of a little welcome to the county kind of thing. So it's all going good, and
okay.
As anticipated, we anticipate having everything installed by the September 28th or earlier.
Okay.
So yeah, it takes a minute, but
Yep. Yep. Might take more than a couple of minutes. Okay, and then anything on 911 or?
no, everything's going well. I'm fixing to talk with the COG about putting in a third 911 terminal. Of course, they supply all that stuff and everything, but I'll have to have letters of support from the county and surrounding agencies and all that stuff for the third console we've been trying to stand up for a little bit now. There's a space in there for a third console. We've already done certain things. Now I've just got to get the 911 and the TLETS terminal in there.
Is that on that extra room to the south?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's mainly for if we need to take a console down, we have another one to move the dispatcher to if we need to work on one, and for disasters and emergencies and stuff, we'll be able to put a third person in there to dispatch if we needed to.
Okay.
We had the space and the stuff to do it with, so there was no reason not to.
Okay. Sure.
Hasn't been any extra cost to the county or anything to be able to do that so far.
Okay. Good. Good deal. All right. Gentlemen, any questions or comments for Sheriff Wager about 911 or dispatch?
Yes, sir. I like your tie. It looks good.
No, thank you.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
That's all you got?
Yeah, I like that tie.
Okay.
You made him blush.
All right. Item number 4, Sheriff Wager also adopt and set the fees charged for civil services by the sheriff and the constables. And of course, those fees are the same between the two agencies, the sheriff and the constables. And this is Jason's first time to do this. So.
This is my first time doing this, so forgive me here, but from what I understand, these have not gone up in several years. Judge Field said since he's been here, I don't know.
I don't remember them going up. They may have.
But I spoke with TAC. I've spoke with both constables and everybody, and we kind of feel, and I've researched all the surrounding counties as well. We feel that they should probably go up a little bit. We're not going to, I don't think we should ask what some of the other counties are asking, but and this is just kind of most or all of the counties that I research are at this, and some are at more than this. But we felt like not everything should go up, but a few, like the citations by publications should go up to 100, precepts up to 80, precepts with restraining order up to 80, the summons fee, which is actually the citations, the regular citations, should go up to 100, and then all the writs up to 200. There was a lot of discussion back and forth on whether or not we should go back up more on the writ of executions and the writs of possession, because they're very time consuming and very take a lot of manpower and hours and stuff like that. But in the end, we all kind of decided that just go to 200 and be done with it. Some of the other surrounding counties also go way down in the weeds, breaking it down to if the officers are there more than an hour to 2 hours, depending on what it is, and they start charging by the hour, and then they also charge commissions and percentages and all that stuff. I don't want to make it harder on the people to be able to get their property back and stuff like that, but at the same time, I do feel like we should probably go up just because of the manpower and the amount of time that it takes to do this stuff. We were lower than most all the counties out there. I'd also like to add on civil subpoenas, which we don't have at all. Everybody else did. We don't have it at all on there at 100. That's what we recommend, and that's what we're thinking.
And we've got Constable Driscoll. Constable Driscoll, do you want to add anything to that, or?
No, sir. We discussed with the sheriff. He did all the research on it. You know, it should not cost every taxpayer should not have to pay for what you need. If you have a rent house, you need an eviction, and the other 90% don't have a rent house, they shouldn't have to be footing the cost for yours. So it looks like this is going to bring it more in line with reimbursing the county for what it costs to do the paper.
Okay.
I'd actually even argue that we'd be lower on some of those prices, but that it'll even out.
Okay.
We don't want to make it too hard on people, but at the same time, we don't want to foot the bill for all their stuff either.
Okay. Do you have something for us to put into the file, or?
I can. Not really, unless y'all just want to make a copy of this.
Well, you've got to send it off also to the comptroller,
Yeah.
I believe.
You do all that online.
I report that.
You report that one? Okay.
It's required by statute.
Okay. Do you want something
I
formal?
do, yes,
Okay.
please.
With an order adopting?
We can take action on it today, you guys
Okay.
can, and then if he'll just present that list, and I'll get you guys a copy.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that just in a little bit.
Any other questions or comments on the changing of the fees for sheriff and constable service? Okay. Can we have a motion then to adopt the new amounts presented by the sheriff and the constables for their fees? Civil process.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign, and that carries.
Okay, Kelly, do you get on the comptroller and do this, or do I do it?
No, I do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll get you a list here in a little bit.
Sounds
Good
good.
deal.
Thank y'all.
Jason. Got some people that want to talk. Yeah.
Thank you.
We've got some people here that want to address the court about an item that's way down on the agenda about the proposed budget and certified values. Is that where we want to slot that in? Okay. If it's okay with the commissioners, can we have a motion to move item 16 up now and go ahead and take up that for consideration?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. I've got a motion and a second to move item 16 up to where we are now in the agenda. All in favor say aye. Aye as well. Okay. And this is item 16, which is discuss, consider accepting the proposed budget and certified values. And Ms. Key has got the presentation, and then we'll open it up. Looks like Grant Lewis wants to speak to us. Okay, anybody else want to speak to us? Want to fill out the form and speak to us? No? Okay. All right. Let her make that presentation and we'll open it up, okay? All right, good deal. All right. Right here. Steve.
On item 16, and it's the last page in your packet, is the certified value. Previously, we were working on budget version 2. I have no changes to that version at this time, unless the court does. So if the court would like to adopt version 2 as the proposed budget, and Kathy's office already has a copy.
That's adopting for filing.
Yes, the proposed budget for filing, yes. That is not adopting the budget.
Yeah, I just want to make that clear to everybody. We still have some work to do on it. Okay.
And then you all have a copy of the certification from Randy Clark. The 2021 total market value of all property is $3,613,183,760. The 2021 total market value of new improvements, $22,046,510. The 2021 total net taxable value is $1,723,301,815. And the 2021 taxable value of new property is $21,950,650. And at the same point last year, the certified values were, I had that written down.
I remember back when we went over $1 billion. It was a while back.
$659,245,245. So we are up. I have that number also somewhere. $64,266,570. That is an increase from the 2020 certified values. Now, I will tell you, by the time we ended the process, the freeze adjusted values came in last year at $1,468,459,960. So there was about a $190 million freeze adjustment.
So this doesn't reflect the freeze adjustment for,
No.
okay.
I emailed Randy Clark, but I think he's out, trying to make sure, but looking back at last year's, the certified value compared to this year's certified value, I believe that is just the total value.
And let me clarify, in case anybody's unsure about what the freeze is that we're talking about. If you're 65 or older, or if you're disabled, your values are frozen at a certain level unless you add to your property with some kind of improvement. That's what the freeze means. So 65 or older, or disabled, of course, or both if you are, your property values are going to be frozen as to actually what you're paying taxes on. The value will reflect an increase in market value, but not what your taxable value is. The taxable value is what gets frozen. As long as you don't add any more improvements. Of course, you add an improvement, then it changes.
Loretta, can you read me that freeze value last year?
Yes, ma'am. $1,468,459,960.
Thank you.
Okay. And with that, gentlemen, you want to open it up for discussion? Okay. Mr. Lewis. Yes, sir. We have Grant Lewis from, is this Carbon?
Desdemona.
Desdemona, okay.
You want to be
2240.
up there or here?
Just wherever you're comfortable. You can come on up if you want to, be fine. How are you this morning?
Good.
Good.
Gentlemen, some of you I know, some of you I don't, some of you I met today. I want to, first of all, thank y'all for your service to the county. Judge Fields,
Thank you.
congratulations on your upcoming retirement. I hope you have a good rod and reel handy.
It's only 17 months away, but who's counting?
But I appreciate y'all. I've worked with various commissioners over the years, beginning with Calvin Ainsworth up to the present. And I know it's rewarding, but I know there's challenges. I know that you have challenges. And I truly appreciate y'all for what you do. We had an old gentleman at home a number of years ago when I was quite a bit younger, L.A. Clark. And he was very knowledgeable, very smart man. Kathy may remember him. He told me one day, he said, two of the most important bodies of government are the Commissioner's Court and the Grand Jury. And over the years, I've watched the workings of both, and I think I understand what he meant now. Y'all have a great deal of power in the county, and we do and really appreciate what y'all do. We may not always agree, that's life, but we do appreciate you. I've seen a lot of changes over the years, like y'all have. Nothing like what I've seen the last few months in property values. Land values, y'all probably know what's going on as well as I do. We have a lot of money flowing into the county from outside various sources, and real estate is hot as it's ever been, more so than we've seen bubbles in the past, but nothing like this. We don't know whether it's going to last or whether it will pass in time. Time will only tell about that. We have some legitimate people moving in here. Mr. Richardson back here is a quite large landowner. He raises Angus cattle. He wants to be a part of our county and community, and we appreciate people like that. Others seem to be using it as a tax write-off mainly. But whatever your opinion is of what's going on and who's coming into our county, one thing for sure, values are going up. Values have risen, as we just heard from our auditor here. In light of these increases, we would like to ask the court to adopt a no new revenue rate. We have like 69 million increase that we've just heard about. If you say, well, we're going to leave the rate like it was, we're not going to increase it, that translates to a tax increase for us because values have gone up. And I think we're pretty easy to see the thinking on that. Many in our county are struggling. Retired people on fixed income, and believe it or not, agriculture is struggling. Fertilizer has gone crazy. Fuel has gone crazy. Chemicals, everything we buy has gone up. I know y'all deal with that because you buy fuel and you buy machinery. But we're kind of caught in the middle. And we continue to ask the state for help with a fair sales tax that everybody pays their fair share. the property tax is unfair, we feel. But if we could adopt the state sales tax in whatever amount Austin feels is necessary, it would relieve some of our burden. And I know y'all, probably Judge Fields has passed that along to the proper officials. I know a lot of y'all feel the same way. But so far, nothing's been done. I'm a conservative. I vote Republican 99% of the time. But I get frustrated sometimes with our leadership. I guess that's probably not uncommon. I'm talking about Austin. I know y'all have a lot of things on your agenda. I've looked over your agenda. You have a lot of business to take care of. But we would like for you to consider these thoughts, and we're not here to pressure anybody. We're just here to offer some common sense thoughts. Y'all have any questions?
I will say that we did go below the effective rate last year, and the year before we did the effective rate. We haven't gone up any in the last 2 years at all, and I don't think there's any need or any thought that we would this year. But I want to give you a bad news. I watched a presentation from A&M on population demographics. We're at the beginning of what's fixing to be an explosion, is what they're saying. And what they're projecting is that land prices around here within the next 10 years will be anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 an acre. And I would have never thought it was happening. I mean, because we all know these guys that are paying $5,000 an acre can't financially make it pay for itself.
Right.
You know, but they're paying it.
Yeah.
Just left and right.
Mr. Raines, we have young people graduating from our schools. Their lifelong dream is to own property.
You can't.
That's gone.
Yeah,
That's
you can't.
gone.
You can't. Well, you know, and their big deal is like you're talking about agriculture and livestock. Where's that all that going? I mean, it's out the window.
Right.
You know, it's. And I've seen Mr. Richardson's stuff out there. He's doing a wonderful job cleaning up some stuff
Yes.
and making it looking great. But without people like him producing livestock, where are we going to get our stuff to eat?
Exactly.
But, you know, they're buying these places. They're dividing them into 20 and 30 acre tracts. And I'll say this: I don't mind the livestock exemption. I don't understand the wildlife exemption. That these people are getting a tax break for having a tank and a feeder on the property when Mr. Richardson's got cows on his property or cow-calf operation, and they're getting the same break he is. I don't think that's fair, because you're not holding them to the same accountability as you're asking him to do, or you to do.
Yes, sir.
You know, to produce livestock and show a production, as you got, you know, a feeder and a tank stuck out here and maybe a food plot, and that's our 3 deals to maintain our wildlife exemption on that property. I just don't think that's fair. I don't think but that's what they're doing.
I passed that thought along to the chief appraiser. And Austin's the only one that can.
That's only, yeah. We
Yeah,
have
it's
no
on there.
control over that stuff. And I mean, I've watched it. I've watched the classes on it. I've studied, and until it's changed down Austin, we can't do nothing about
Yes,
it.
sir.
There's no accountability either. You know, there's nobody that goes out and checks and sees it if you got a food plot, or if you got a feeder that's got feed in it, or whatever, for the wildlife exemption just to hold up.
Right.
But they still get the same tax break that everybody else gets. I just don't think that's fair.
Yes, sir. Agree.
Well, and your idea about the sales tax from the state, we don't get very much support from the state in trying to make any kind of common sense decisions. And I know Representative Rogers is trying to do the best he can, but he's like one voice in the wilderness down there among a bunch of them that have, it's not even a hidden agenda anymore. They've got big city ideas coming from Harris County at Houston,
Yes,
trying to enforce the way things are done in Houston on us up here in small town USA, Eastland County. And I don't know how that's gonna get changed. I don't see it changing.
Judge Whitley did an excellent presentation on if you did this to sales tax, you could eliminate the school tax completely for them. And it was like a blank face. They don't care.
No, that's it. That's
And he's an accountant by trade.
Yep.
He's Tarrant County judge. He's on his way out too, but he did an excellent presentation on if you would stop exempting services, and he used his own business as an accountant, because there's no tax for his service. If you tax what I do, and you tax these other deals at just the normal sales tax rate, you could eliminate sales tax or school tax and pay for it. He said it was like talking to a wall.
That's what I got. The last time I went to Austin and testified was in 2017. I haven't gone in the past two sessions because it was like just exactly what Commissioner Range is saying. It's like talking to this desk. They don't care. They didn't at that time. Now, we've got some new ones in that I hope are paying more attention, but quite a few of the state legislators just don't care what we're telling them. Used to, they would call and say, what's going to happen if we have this bill and we adopt this bill and make it into a law? What's that going to do to county government? And I could tell them what it was going to do to county government, or to our budget, or to the road and bridge system. I don't get asked those questions anymore. Haven't in 4 years. And again, Representative Rogers is changing that some. I do get some information from him, but as far as the rest of the state and our senators and all, I just don't get much information from them at all. So I think we need a grassroots effort in letting those people know that we live out here and we've got to comply with all these rules and regulations they send to us, whether we've got the money to do it or not. That's the best example of an unfunded mandate I can tell you. You know, they say if you live outside of a hospital district, like there's one hospital district in Eastland County, it's Eastland Hospital District. If you live outside the hospital district and you qualify for economic qualification, you can get health care coverage funded by the county. We have to supply 8% of our general tax revenue budgeted over for indigent health care. We don't get compensated hardly at all. We used to get compensated more, a bunch more than we do now. Now it's a very small compensation for what we actually spend of your tax dollars and my tax dollars for indigent health care. And that's just one small facet of what the state tells us that we have to comply with. So, you know, I feel it too, and I was in the real estate business before I became the county judge, and you know, it was a big day when you sold a piece of property for $1,000 an acre when I was selling property in 15 years ago. And now it's, you know, 4 times that. It's incredible. And I think the COVID last year has pushed people to where they figured out now they can live out here and work out here from their computer online and be more productive and live in Eastland County, which, I mean, who wouldn't want to live in Eastland County compared to Houston or even Dallas County? So people have discovered that they can live out here if they've got good broadband coverage. I do see those people living here more. That's why you go to Walmart and you see people you don't know who they are, because they've bought property here 10 years ago and now they're living out here because they can work from their home at the ranch, basically. So, but yeah, last year we took that rate as it was and dropped it slightly.
We dropped it slightly.
Just a little bit last year.
Below the effective rate.
And if you're over the 65, you get, or if you're 65 or over, you get the freeze, which kind of shifts the burden to the younger folks, which probably makes them not want to buy land either or not buy a house. But that is a shifting of that tax burden. We took that action about 7 or 8 years ago to do that because of a lot of pressure. And at the time, I told the group, I said, I'm not really in favor of this, of doing something that's going to benefit me in the future. And here I am looking at 64 coming up pretty soon. So, but it is what it is. Commissioners, anybody else want to address? Mr. Lewis has got some very valid concerns here. And Latone or anybody else want to speak to us, Latone? Yes, ma'am.
I have one thing I'd like to offer.
Latone Rogers for the record.
We have a copy of a letter from the De Leon Free Press. This deals with our sister county, Comanche. They have a 300-member co-op. Peggy Moon is president of it, and they are She has written this letter to Dr. Buckingham, appealing to her. That should be of interest to all of us.
Okay,
Thank you, and thank you for moving the agenda to.
sure. Yeah, there's no sense in keeping y'all here while we go through all the minutia that we've got to get through
We have lots
today.
of hay in the field and people with cattle and
Yeah.
need to be out there, and we thank you.
I went to my daughter and grandson's place in Tyler, and I saw hay all the way to Tyler and back over the weekend. Okay, anybody else want to address us today about this? Thank y'all very much for being here. Thank you,
Gentlemen,
Mr.
I
Lewis.
appreciate your time.
Yes, sir, you bet, certainly. We'll work on it. Thank y'all. Okay, I think I need to make a copy of that, put in there, everybody. At this time, do we need to take action on item 16 as far as the values? We need to certify the values and accept the filing of the proposed budget?
Let's wait on the budget. I think James has got some stuff he wants to ask about.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Is that not true? I mean.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up.
Okay. All right, then we'll, next up then is item number 5, the burn ban. Hey, Sam? Well, he left. Would you get Sam? I'd like to ask him about the burn ban. Sam Williams, before he leaves.
Quick.
Well, we have a fireman here. I'd like to ask him. Hey, Sam, we're about to talk about the burn ban. Can you wait just a second?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Okay, so item number 5, if we can take that up next, that is the update on the county burn ban. Of course, the burn ban is currently off, and it looks like it's drying out to me. Sam, what's your opinion of the burn ban on, off? Leave it like it is. It's off right now. What do you,
I think it's probably getting close to time that it be reinstated.
okay,
Things are starting to get dry. I know my spring that runs a good part of the year, as of 2 days ago, it's not making it to the river anymore. So,
Inez Springs, it
Yes,
stopped
sir.
working?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, does anybody else have any input from their fire departments or anybody?
Hadn't had anybody.
What?
I make, but it is getting dry.
I'll second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second to put the new burn ban on. Is that effective immediately?
Yes, sir.
Okay, make it effective immediately. Would you get me one of those? All right, thank you.
Ronnie just wants it to rain.
That's all I
That does happen, although there's nothing in the week's forecast, I
I
don't
know,
think.
it'll change. Pull it up here in about 10 minutes after you sign it.
All right, we've got a motion and a second to enact the new burn ban. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
As well, and that is unanimous. Thank you, Sam. You bet.
Thank you, Judge.
We need a little input on that. Okay, so Kathy will bring us up the burn ban here in a few minutes to sign. The other Kathy. And we'll move on to item number 6. Discuss, consider accepting Adult Community Supervision Corrections Department fiscal year 2022 proposed budget. And David Cherry is not here.
But you each have a copy.
Okay. we'll do-
And he is required to file his proposed budget with the court. This is the initial budget filed with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Community Justice Assistance Division.
Okay. Does it address anything about that, the funding from the county that he wanted? The additional amount?
Let me see if I thought he had, yes, if you look on page 3, county support, he's put in at 8,000 for each of the 2 years of the biennium.
On my page 3, county support. Have we actually approved that? Is it in our proposed?
It's in
too?
our proposed budget, yes.
Okay. Gentlemen, do we have questions or comments about this budget for adult probation?
No.
All right, do we have a motion then to accept item 6 for filing?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign, and that carried. All right, that takes us to number 7. Summer, come on down. 7 is discuss, consider allowing election administrator Summer Olvera to enter into and electronically sign a new copier lease contract with Rico USA. This was tabled from the 6/28 meeting, so can we have a motion to put that back out for consideration?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
And Judge,
And
if
that
you
carries.
would go ahead and sign this, and then Summer can just send it electronically.
So she doesn't need to sign it, she just needs to send it? Okay, all right. So this is a new copier lease, and of course, I've been back and forth over it and had some changes to make on it because it was a multi-year type lease. How does this impact the office financially? That's probably what we need to know for Commissioners Court.
It didn't change any from my previous
Okay.
contract. It stayed the same.
And your other machine has got a little age on it now?
Yes, and so I'll be getting a new machine, which comes with an $850 rebate. So I will get $850 back when I
Okay.
get my new machine.
Okay,
But the allowance on black and white and color and the payment has stayed the same.
okay,
So it's just a new contract for the next 5 years
okay.
and a new machine.
And it does have the clause in there about the non-funding agreement. If we decide not to fund it, we can get out of the contract.
Yes. I'm not exactly sure where it is, but it was in there, right?
Yes,
You
it
read it.
is in there.
It's in there. All right, gentlemen, questions, comments, copier for the elections office? All right, hearing none, can we have a motion then to enter into this agreement and to allow me to sign the same and allow Summer to send it off to Rico?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign, and that carries it. Okay.
There's
Yes, I
a
need to
bunch
have
of
pre-
signatures. Do you want to do it after?
Do it
Yeah,
after
let
and
me
get
do
it
it
back?
let me do it afterwards. I'll sign all those and get them back to you and get yours as well. All right, now this will take a few minutes.
Thank you.
What did Jason say? It'll take a minute?
Minute.
All right, we'll take care of that. Number 8 is discuss and consider ratifying the contract with E-Force for signature.
I signed it last week after we left.
Thank y'all for doing that while I was gone last week.
I don't
Anytime, Judge.
they authorized you to
No,
sign it.
we didn't.
It was not authorized.
So now what
It
we
was-
need is an authorization to ratify Commissioner Range's signature on that contract. So can we have a motion to that effect? Do we have a second?
Sitting there.
On yonder?
Down there.
Yonder.
We have a motion and I think a second to ratify the signature of Commissioner Range on the contract with E-Force for dispatch. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign, and that carries.
And in fairness, she told me I needed to.
I did mention it.
Yeah.
Okay, it was right after the meeting, but I said,
Hey Kathy,
yes, sir.
would you make a copy of that and get it to everybody at the table? Watch out, don't let the gate hurt you.
That door get you.
Yeah, I watched it take down somebody one day.
Ooh.
Glad it wasn't me. I wouldn't be able to get up.
Would you get me a copy of that back, please, when you get your certification on there? And we will let everybody know. All right, item number 9 is discuss and consider entering into an interlocal agreement with Regional Public Defender's Office for indigent defense and capital cases. This is the contract that we've had with, used to be with Lubbock County, and now it's with Lubbock County set up a government corporation called an LGC, a local government corporation, for indigent defense if somebody has a capital case such as a murder charge, to where they provide representation to the accused. The amount is the same that it's been. This is a 2-year agreement, and I did check with Paul Llewellyn to make sure that the district attorney's office still thought it was valid, and it is, according to him. I think our cost is about $5,052.11, which is the same as it was last year, and this puts us into a 2-year contract where it won't go up next year as well. So with that, Do we have a motion to enter into this agreement for regional public defense and allow me to sign the same?
Yes, sir.
Do we have a second? Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign, and that carries. Okay, and thank you very much.
And the DA's office is gonna need to sign this and the next page.
Okay.
Would you like me to take you to Paul for
That
signatures?
would be great. Thank you. You have that.
Which page is that, Loretta?
The signature page under Judge Fields.
Approved as to content.
Approved, okay.
And then the next page, the review.
Okay.
And there are three of them right there. If you'll get all of them signed, please, ma'am. Thank you. All right, that takes us to item number 10. Discuss, consider ratification of rental agreement with state and local government addendum between Financial Services LLC and the County of Eastland for Spectrum VoIP telephone service and Yealink Financial Servicing LLC and the County of Eastland for Spectrum VoIP telephone service.
This is the final agreement. We ended up with 60 telephones total, and this is just the agreement and the rental for the phone.
Okay.
If I need to call the judge, how do I call him?
1082. 1583.
Because I tried to call Kathy back to tell her I got her message, and by the time I got through all the deal and thought I hit the right button, I don't even know who I was talking to.
Went to outer space.
Yeah,
It's a long, when you call the judge's office,
yeah,
yeah, it's crazy.
yeah.
I
It's
just-
like,
I've got a list of our direct extensions, and I think Sonia's working on it as well.
I'm working on one to
Okay.
give to
It'll be
everybody.
easier to just punch that extension.
yeah, because I thought I was at the judge's office when I got to the county court stuff, but I think I ended up talking to somebody in your office. But I'm not for sure. Because I don't really actually know who picked the phone up when I
Well, we
finally
all
punched
sound
the button.
different on them too.
Yeah.
Are we discussing the phones?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
That company's in over their head. If you call the courthouse or the sheriff's office from a landline, there is no telling where you'll end up. You can call from a cell phone, but a landline, forget about it. You cannot get through the sheriff's office. You cannot get through the courthouse.
Well, I tried to
You
call
end up at
Kathy back,
somebody's,
and I couldn't get through.
yeah.
We
It's-
have
every
a-
day I have a list this long of stuff, and some of it gets fixed, and then the next day, the stuff that was fixed is not fixed again, and it's just a constant cycle.
May
It's
I say
ridiculous.
something?
Is it net data?
I talked to, the guy Friday that was here, that was working back on the phones. The POTS lines, which are the landlines, that go to the alleys, they are supposed to be being disconnected today. And that should stop the, or that should, let the landlines call in directly, once those are disconnected. So, and it's supposed to happen today. It's what he told me Friday.
Yeah, we have a local attorney that can't call from a landline to us or the judge's office.
Right,
We got
and it's
dispatch
because those
running off
lines
cell
are still
phones to
connected.
call.
And that's what they told
Yes.
them,
Well, I tried to call her back on my cell phone, and it got me this big long deal, and I listened to everything and got to where I thought I was pressing the right button to get to this office, and I didn't get one of y'all. I got somebody else. And like I said, I don't actually know who I talked to. But anyway, I told him I got your message.
I never got your message.
Whoever it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever it was. Okay, so all we're doing here is just accepting this rental agreement in after it's been signed
Yes, sir.
by everyone? Okay. Okay. Do you have the other executed side of this done somewhere?
No, I do not. You sent this to
Yes,
Jody
yes, I did.
last week?
Yes, I emailed
Okay,
that
it's
last
not
week.
yet, not back yet? Okay.
No. So as soon as I have an executed copy, I will be sure to file it with.
Okay. So can we have a motion then to ratify this rental agreement with Spectrum VoIP?
I'll make it good.
Do you have a second?
I'll say.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Jason, you don't get to vote. And it carried. All right, thank you. All
Yes,
right.
there's no going back.
There's no going back.
There really is not.
No going
All I need is get your cell phone out. Call my cell phone.
I started just texting him and say, I got the message, but, I mean, I was so frustrated, because it is a long message to get through. I mean, there's like 10 or 15 options before it finally got to an option I thought was actually you, or this office.
Call me on
Sounded like
cell phone.
the star rating went way down, didn't it?
Stars. I was thinking about giving them some, matter of fact.
You know, I asked them what the rating was. They thought it was 7. Maybe we're down lower than that.
Is lower better or higher better?
I don't know.
We're playing golf or we're doing something else?
Yeah, you're right, Judge.
Item 11 is discuss and consider an offer from TxDOT, State of Texas, to purchase the Eastland County shop and property located in Gorman, Precinct 3. This property is located at 307 East Lubbock Street, Gorman, and further identified as a tract of 0.2755 acres, and by the TxDOT parcel number 555587. This property is owned by multiple parties. If you'll look at this package that I put together for you, this is the shop and the driveway and the northwest side of that property adjacent to the property we've already talked about. And they make the county and the other 3 entities an offer of, let me get to where I need to be here. They make an offer to the county, the city of Gorman, Denver Rainey, and Samuel Rodriguez and wife Tomasa Rodriguez, a total of $33,331 for that property. And again, it's that slightly over a quarter of an acre. Do have the appraisal. It's about 70 pages. I didn't put that into your file, but I do have it if you want to look at it, or make you a copy of it if you want to see it. Keep in mind, this has to be divided 4 different ways. I'm assuming I did send off a question to Ms. Castaneda about how this was going to be divided. Is it an even 4-way split? When will that happen? Is it at the closing or some other point? And I didn't get anything back from her last time I checked. It may be in my email file from over the weekend, but here's some things we need to cover. First of all, do we want to accept that offer? And then, do we want to retain any of the improvements that are in there? And that is some more fencing, the metal building, the gate, the concrete catch basin, which you'd never get out, light pole, metal sign, gravel base, keeping in mind we only own 1/4 of any improvement in there. There's also another possession and use agreement that they would like to go ahead and get started on it, and they're willing to pay $3,333 to the 4 owners to allow the state to have possession and use of that property. So, I guess first of all, do we accept the offer to sell it? Do we accept the possession and use agreement? And do you allow me to sign the documents that they sent to me today, which is not the deed. The deed's got to be changed up to reflect what Bob Bass tells us we need as far as the revision clause if it's not used for public use. And Commissioner Wilson, do you want a fourth of any of those improvements? You want a fourth of that barn, or?
No, sir.
I wouldn't think so, but
No.
Okay, so you're gonna make a motion to accept the offer, right?
I make a motion to accept the offer.
what about the possession and use agreement? You want to make a motion for that at the same time? Include that in your motion?
And allow the judge to sign.
And allow me to
Yes.
sign? Okay.
I'll second it.
All right, so we've got a motion and a second to accept the offer from TxDOT, and also to accept the possession and use agreement, and allow me to sign the documents that we've been presented here today, not including the deed, to start this process. So with that, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye as well, unanimous. Okay, and Kathy, I will get that done and get them all down to you and let you have I've got to have it notarized and get it back to you, okay?
Okay. Do you want mine?
Would you give me a copy?
Yeah, let me just sign one and we'll make copies of the notarized part and then you can have it. And then I'll have to have a copy of the minutes certified, so I'm sending it as well to
Okay.
let them know that I had the authority to sign it. Okay. Eventually, we'll get this done. Item number 12 is discuss and consider accepting updated Annex P for Emergency Management Plan. This is something that Kathy Leffler has been working on for a while, getting all the entities to sign off on this mitigation, hazard mitigation for this separate annex under our emergency management plan, so we can stay current and the entities can stay current with their emergency management plan and be eligible for certain grants should they come along. But at this point, we need to accept this and approve this hazard mitigation Annex P plan. That's a whole lot of talking and,
I'll make the motion.
all right. Motion made and seconded to approve Annex P and implementation for hazard mitigation. I'll let Kathy get caught up.
Okay.
All right. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Okay, Kathy, we'll get that set up and going to send off to the state, to TDM, and move forward with it. All right, thank you. All right, item 13 is personnel matters. We do have a personnel report here. Ms. Key.
Time period of this report is July 10th. I don't think that 25 needs to be in there through July 26th. During that time period, there was one employment termination, which was a jail guard.
Okay. Any other elected or appointed official have any personnel issues to discuss today?
We just had another one put their 2 weeks in
Okay.
In which,
jail.
in jail.
And I'll, go ahead.
Are you too hard on them, Jason, or what's wrong?
From what I'm gathering, it's the people that they're dealing with nowadays is, there's a lot of mental illness stuff that they're having to deal with, and these people are staying in there for an extended amount of time, and it's, we've had just about every save cell full since I've been there, and there are people you can't put in population, they're just driving crazy. They can go do something else that's not as stressful and make more at it, so, and, I can't blame them.
Yep.
But it's tough.
I'll
Being back there constantly with it.
I'll bring up one.
Special person back there.
Yeah, it takes a special person to do that.
I'll bring up one more personnel matter. David Geisling, our Veteran Service Officer, died. His funeral is Thursday, 10 o'clock, Catholic Church in Cisco. So at some point, I'll be bringing it back to the court about appointing a new VSO. I think that'll be the 5th one since I've been the county judge. So Mr. Geisling did a great job, good guy, and he died while he was in office. So we'll talk about that in the future, but this is just kind of to let you know that that went down, and that the funeral is this Thursday at the Catholic Church at 10 o'clock in Cisco. With that, anyone else, the personnel issue to bring up? Okay. Can we have a motion to accept this personnel report as presented with the one change on the date up there? Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. No opposed. That carries.
Can I have another drink first?
Did I do that and not remember it?
Anybody need a break?
Don't mess
Keep
with
trucking.
me.
Keep trucking. All right. 14, budgetary and appropriative matters. 14A, certification of additional revenue.
No certifications at this time, Judge.
None at this time. Okay. 14B is emergency amendments.
No emergency amendments either.
That's good. 14C is amendment changes by fund.
Yes, there are 2 pages of amendment changes by fund. You'll notice in the right column that there are several certifications of additional revenue from last Commissioner's Court. I don't think there's anything that's been moved from contingency, so it's just adjustments within budgets.
Okay. All right. Gentlemen, any questions or comments about these budget amendments? Okay. Hearing none, can we have a motion then to make the amendment changes by fund as presented by the auditor?
Motion. Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign, and that carries. All right, that takes us to 14D, report of financial condition.
Yes, this is our regular meeting report. It's unreconciled general ledger balances as of July 23rd. General revenue, first section is the combined statement of cash position. As of July 23rd, general fund checking, $2,950,401.38. Tax pool, $331,052.92. First Financial Bank CDs, $847,263. Texas Bank CD, $250,000. Schertz Bank CD, $250,000. Prosperity Bank CD, $250,000. Tax pool prime, $521,119.13. Texas class, $510,044.06. Total general ledger balance, all funds on deposit for general fund, $5,909,880.49. Road and bridge checking, $477,739.41. The remaining funds are listed. And then on page 4, there's one line which is the total, all funds on deposit for Eastland County, general ledger balance, $11,170,567.19. There are 2 total pages. The next section is the combined statement of revenue and expense showing July month-to-date revenue and expense, and then year-to-date revenue and expense. As of July 23rd, general fund revenue, $8,757,545.15. Expenses, $7,389,311.98. Road and bridge revenues, $1,480,964.02. Expense, $1,221,919.28. The remainder of the funds are listed and the totals are on page 3. And we are in an adequate cash position and revenue expense position. The last section is, no, it's not the last, the combined statement of cash receipts and disbursements showing July beginning cash balance, cash receipts, cash disbursements, and ending cash balance as of July 23rd, and it's by fund and account type. I believe there are 6 pages of that. And then the last report is the scheduled lease payment showing the First Financial Bank lease purchase agreement for general fund, which is the election equipment, and it is paid off. And then the road and bridge section has the 3 lease purchase agreements for motor graders, and then the new lease purchase agreement for the ham roller.
All right, gentlemen, any questions or comments on this financial report as of July 23?
No, sir. Nope.
All right, do we have a motion then to accept that report as presented?
Motion. Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign, and that carries. 14E, investment report.
No investment report at this meeting, Judge.
14F, financial report, department reports. And Kathy, would you just read off to me what you've got?
I have 2 reports from the DMV.
Okay,
That's it?
okay. With that then, any other reports then? All right, can we have a motion then to accept those 2 reports as just named? Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign. That takes us to 15, bills, claims, and accounts. Ms. Keith.
There are 4 sets. The first one is July 23rd payroll. It's all payables other than workers' comp and unemployment. The second set is payroll gross wages for July 23rd payroll. The third set is dated July 6th. It is com data, and it's going to be paid today. On page 2, I have 1 change. Second line is shipping on a TV, and it's charged to utilities. It needs to be changed to the last 3 of that line. It's 010561. It should be 422, which is electronic equipment. And then on page 3, the first line is fuel that is charged to materials, and it needs to be charged to 020-622-330 fuel.
Good try, James.
I did what?
I did. All right, gentlemen, any questions or comments about the bills, claims, and accounts that have been presented?
I have one more set,
Oh,
Judge.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I did one more, yeah.
And the last set is regular payables for today, and on page 1, toward the middle, it's Eastland office supply, and it is the first line, and it is copy paper. It's charged to office supplies, and copy paper gets charged to copier supplies, so that needs to change to 010-403-331.
So that'll be 3 changes altogether.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, with that then, anything else? Can we have a motion to pay the bills, claims, and accounts with those 3 changes made to those specific line items? And Kathy, did you get all those down? Okay, good deal. Can we have a motion to make that?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign, and that carries. You have those flagged for the initials?
No, the changes is what she had in flag for.
Okay. Do I need to initial those changes though? No?
We usually don't.
All right.
But if you feel the need, go ahead.
Well, just, I want to make sure to do it while we're all here. Are you sending 4 of them or 5 of them around?
4.
4, okay.
Wake up, Junior.
Oh, yeah. Well, where we at?
Right here. Paradise.
I'll make a motion for a short recess.
Motion made and seconded for a short recess. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign, and we're in a short recess. We're almost related. All right,
Almost.
Can we have a motion to go back into session?
Second.
Motion made, seconded, back in session. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And we're back. And I do have one special, from a young lady named Carson, one of ours here. Dear Mr. Judge Fields and County Commissioners, thank you for being a great judge and county commissioner. Yours truly, Carson D. And you might expect that D is for Dodgeville.
And she's gone.
Oh,
Where is
She went to Payables.
Okay.
He's a good kid.
All right, so now we get down to item 16 again, discuss, consider accepting the proposed budget and certified values. We'll go back to that. Ms. Keaton? Thanks.
I would like to look at mine again on my employment. And,
Are we on 17?
Judge, did he fill out a paper where he could talk?
He did. When he signed up to run
Did you
for
hear that?
office, he
What?
filled out
He
a
said,
paper.
did he fill out a paper where he can talk?
now, but on my employees, I have 3 full-time, 2 part-time. The 2 part-time I brought in last year, it's not working. And I don't think it's gonna work.
51 maybe?
I would like to go to 5 employees, but I doubt if that'll happen. But with full-time.
What page is that, sir?
51.
All right, thank you.
But I would, if I can't, I would like to go back to the 4 full-time for sure. And I have a guy, Les Jones right now, that he wanted full-time when he come here, but I told him he couldn't. But
How many employees do you have now?
I've got 3 full-time, 2 part-time, which I had, last year I changed it from 4 full-time.
And you want to go to 5 full-time?
I'd like to go.
Did you say 4? You said 4.
He said he'd like to
He
go
said
to
I'd
5.
like to go
That's
to
what I
5
thought he said,
full-time.
5.
Yeah, but,
This way you're taking back to 4 full and no part-time.
yeah.
And no part-time.
What does that do to the budget because of the
Well,
other side of it?
It's gonna add health insurance on 1 employee.
Yeah, which will still be probably cheaper than my 2 part-time, if they worked all year long.
Well, you
It's
can,
gonna increase a little bit because of the insurance going up, I guess, too.
Yes.
And that's, are these totals reflective of what we did with the insurance, Loretta, or is this,
on the proposed budget?
yeah, has this got the 11.5% increase?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I was just curious. I couldn't remember.
We went back and recalculated everybody at the PPO rate.
And also, if we can do that, I'd like to go ahead and hire him right now as full-time.
Do you currently have 0 part-time?
I have,
Or you have 1 that is not, that you're gonna have to fire?
no,
He's gonna quit.
yeah, he's having too much, dog, Dwight Vincent. He had trouble, he had like a eardrum bust on him.
Oh, boy.
And he just got over, 6 months ago where his toe had ruptured on. So I don't know, he's got something going on with him, but anyway, 1 eardrum busted, and they told him it'd be maybe a week or so. Well, the very next week, and the other side busted, so, and they don't know whether he's gonna patch. So he told me that it would be better that he thought that he would just go ahead and quit,
Okay.
because he just didn't. I hate to lose him. I mean, he's good,
Oh, yeah.
but,
I spent all them years working in precinct 3, wore his ears out, listening to Ronnie.
yeah, probably so.
Yeah, he loved me. He said that's the best guy.
That's the reason why I went to work
I
at James.
guess,
Vincent,
would that increase me, or actually,
have to figure it.
I don't.
I know when we did this, it was
close.
It was the increase a little bit. It wasn't much, it was less than $2,000.
It was an increase to go from 4 full-time down to 3 full-time and 2 part-time. That was a slight increase to go
Yeah.
to 2 part-time.
Yeah,
As far as going right now, I don't know, cause you don't probably have any extra in your insurance part of it, so.
I don't, but I have extra in, just the employees
In
part
his
of it.
part-time.
Yeah, I've probably got, roughly close to 16,000 right now. It might not be. I know it was over 15,000 here a month ago or so, so.
And as far as hiring right now, you didn't put an item on the agenda to waive advertising,
Okay,
and he'd still have to go through his pre-employment background.
Even though he's already an employee?
Les Jones is an employer. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No.
he's part-time.
Okay.
He just wants to go-
part-time.
Just
right
move
now.
him to full-time.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
so what I still have.
That's why I knew that name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds familiar.
It did sound very familiar.
Yeah, he's already working. The question would be just making the changes in the line items
Yeah.
for the insurance.
Yeah, for a full-time.
You're talking about in your current budget and also in the budget for 22 then?
Yes,
Okay.
for the
You want to
current,
make the change now and keep it going forward.
yes. And I should have enough money to do that even if we have to transfer it to insurance, group health insurance right now, which if I've got an employee that's not gonna work the next 2 months, that's $1,600 a month probably.
Could
What-
we do it effective August 1st? It would make it really a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, I
on
mean,
us.
it don't have to be today, but.
Okay, or even the first of
The,
next payroll?
Yeah, August the 4th is the next
Okay.
payroll.
Yeah, that'd work great.
Okay, then we can get everything, we get him to do his insurance paperwork and,
Yeah,
thank you.
because I'm not sure
He's
exactly
already
what he
working.
wants on insurance.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know
he's
if it's
already an employee.
Probably just himself. It's probably not gonna be.
Yeah,
I don't know
that
if
would
his
give
wife.
us-
Okay, so we're looking at really a motion to change up the status of his 2 part-times, go back to 1 more full-time, drop off the 2 part-times. And also to make the change in the budget for 22. That sound about right?
Yes,
Bless you.
would be just to, and
And
it's still gonna leave me over quite a bit in payroll still.
I mean, you'll have enough to make it work.
Oh, yeah, I've got plenty. I mean,
Okay.
I'm still probably gonna end up with, because you're not talking but about,
2 months.
150, so you're talking about $150 a week, what it's gonna change, because he's already working 3 days a week, so he's just adding 1 day to it. So.
But it's his insurance that's gonna make a little difference.
Yeah, some of the,
The insurance, retirement, and all that.
yeah, it would just have to be
And
transferred.
Just on the safe side, you might wanna look at the rest of your budget and see where it might come out of if there is a negative.
It's gonna come out of precinct employees,
Okay.
which I've already got a overage of like $15,000.
Okay, so you're over on that.
Yeah.
so when is Dog going to leave?
Well, I'm gonna talk to him one more time and make sure that, he brought the keys back for his office and stuff last week. I wasn't there at the time. And I've tried to call him, but Scotty called him and she said his wife called him back and told him that he can't even hear the phone ring. So I don't, he can't talk on the phone really. So, but, when he brought his keys back and stuff, he said that he just wasn't gonna work no more.
Okay.
So we could make it, I mean, he worked just 2 days on the last payroll we just went through. Can't remember if it was that Thursday, the first, where we at?
26.
So
Yes, it was
the,
the 14th and 15th.
yeah, the 20th was into the last payroll.
And so,
Okay, so does the court want me to recalculate, do a version 3 and recalculate precinct 2 at 4 full-time? Or go ahead and file the proposed budget because we're going to continue making changes?
I think we need to go, and actually, we are at that point about, we kind of jumped ahead a little bit on our, we should be about the appraisal certification and accepting or adopting for filing the proposed budget. Then we can talk about the last item on the agenda, which is more like what you were talking about. But I think we need to do this first, because you've already got version 2 ready to go to be adopted.
Correct.
So can we do that next? Can we have a motion to accept the certified values and file version 2 of the budget?
Motion.
Okay.
Sorry.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign. And Kathy, that's item 16 on that. Discuss, consider accepting proposed budget and certified values. So, okay, we've got the certified values accepted, and we filed version 2. Now then, we can go down to the next item, which is, probably fits in what James was talking about on item 17, discuss and consider the 21-22 budget. And, that's probably the likely place to make the changes for that.
Loretta, can you email me a clean version of 2 to file?
Yes. Is yours not clean?
Well, I've got the changes we've made on it, or have we made it?
We haven't made it.
We didn't make
Okay,
any.
then
We
I'll just
kinda-
make a copy then and file it for the public.
Okay, and I'll put one on
The
the
website,
website.
okay.
We've got such a strict timeline, if we make those changes and then try to come back and do it, we'll be having a special meeting to do that. I know how y'all like special meetings, you want to come up here more often, but we need to adopt 2 without any changes and then come back, and we'll have to take 3 up at some point.
I thought we was just trying to skip what James is wanting.
Well, I think we're gonna get that done in the very next
Oh,
item.
really?
So, okay,
We got you, James. It's all right.
all right.
so at this point then, what do we need to do to make James's employee package work right for all his employees to go to 4 full-times and drop off with no part-times? What do we need to do to make that work for his budget right now? And then we can make the change on version 3 in a minute.
Well, on his budget right now, I'll forecast and bring budget amendments to next court,
Okay.
putting numbers where I need them.
Okay.
So that really, unless y'all want to do a motion to allow him, because the proposed budget had 2 part-times in it, so if the court would just make that motion to allow him to go to 1 full-time instead of 2 part-time.
Can we have that motion ratified?
You mean 4 full-time instead of
Well, yes, 4 full-time instead of
2 part-time?
3 full-time, 2 part-time.
It'll be all full-time, 4 full-time, no part-time, is that right? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Are we looking down
He's still
here?
trying.
You got, right now you have 3 full and 2 part.
Yeah, I know.
So what are you
But-
gonna do with the other part-time?
Not have it.
Money's gonna
I've
stay in the
got-
budget?
Right now, I've had one of my part-times quit. So I don't want to replace him. I'd rather just take the other part-time and put him as full-time.
Okay.
And Dog will need to get with Galia.
If he really
Do
wants to
what?
quit.
Dog needs to get with Galia to do his
Okay, yeah.
final paperwork.
I will have, I mean, I don't know if he can, I don't know his situation right now. Whether
Okay.
he probably, he'll need to come in, I'm sure.
Well, we
Because-
need a written resignation.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be effective when?
August 4th is what we talked
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need a motion and a second on that?
And this is for the current budget?
Yes.
Okay, yes, we do not have that.
Okay, can we have a motion and a second then, and would you read that back off to us, just make sure we capture everything that we need here?
To allow precinct 2 to increase to 4 full-time and 0 part-time, effective August the 4th, and this is affecting the current budget.
Is that right?
Sounds right.
Okay. So, does somebody wanna make that, do you wanna make that motion, James?
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second on it?
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, that carries. Okay.
Then for the 2022 budget, I'll just, version 3's already started, recalculate with 4 full-time and no part-time.
Would you prefer to have that in form of a motion now, that we go to 4 and 0
If-
on precinct 2?
That would be good.
All right. Then I'll make a motion that we go to 4 full-times, no part-times on precinct 3 for employees.
Precinct 2.
Precinct 2.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
He's got enough employees.
See what he's trying to do?
Precinct 2, 4 and 0 for the next version of the budget. Version 2. I'll let Kathy get caught up on all that.
Judge, you believe school's supposed to start back at 12?
Jill's counting down the days. I've got
Yeah,
4
man.
days left. That's 16.
Okay.
All right. You want to read it back to me, lecture?
A motion by motion by Judge Fields, second by Commissioner Crenshaw, to change to 4 full-time employees, 0 part-time in the precinct 2 budget.
For version 3.
Yeah, version 3 of the 2022 budget.
That's it. All right.
Yep.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. And unanimous. All right. So I think that gets us where we need to be on all that.
Yeah.
So according to our calendar, we'll get effective rate and all that Friday week.
Yes, and can I kind of go over the calendar, because our calendar is going to get
Narrow.
squished.
Yeah.
On August 6th, the chief appraiser is supposed to submit the no new revenue tax rate and the voter approval tax rate. The comptroller just finished the forms. I saw over the weekend on listserv that they're up and ready, and Randy Clark was waiting for the forms. He would like to mail out the postcard that the appraisal district has to mail out on August 9th. And I told him that it was on our calendar to make a decision on the proposed tax rate on the 9th. So, and he was okay with that. He really wanted it before, but I told him we already had that on the calendar. If the proposed rate is below the no new revenue rate, the voter approval rate, then we only have to have one. Actually, we don't have to have a hearing. No hearing is required for the tax rate, but
We could if we wanted to, though.
right. And we are scheduled to have our budget hearing on August 23rd. On August 23rd, we could have our budget hearing, our tax rate hearing. We could adopt the budget and then adopt the tax rate, all on August 23rd.
All at the same time.
So we don't have to drag it would probably be better to not take this into September. We do have until September 30th to do everything, but with the timelines that are now imposed.
Well, and September's gonna get really busy, with redistricting at the end of the month. And all those numbers coming out, September's gonna be a nightmare month.
Does your plan right there give you enough time to get all the publication done that needs to be?
Yes, and when I went to on-the-road area training, McCreary, Gaselka, Bragg, and Allen did a great presentation on actually working backwards, so I will start the calendar backwards and make sure it all works into the August 23rd deadline, or end date.
Okay. That sounds good to me. Commissioner, what do y'all think? Have it all done at one time on the 23rd?
I'm good with that. I'm get it behind us. I do think that the forecast with the numbers you provided today aren't as gonna be as good or as optimistic as what people, there's not gonna be extra. It's gonna be actually lose value.
Well, when we do the
When you do the
freeze,
freeze adjustment, we're actually, the loss, we're gonna lose several $1 million in property value.
We're set for archive hearings on the 23rd at 8:30 that morning.
okay, good, good.
Have you already let our Kathy know? Okay.
Yep. We're coordinating.
All right.
And if y'all don't mind me adding this little comment, Taylor County's getting an 8% salary adjustment, and then Hill County's getting, cost of living as well. So,
Maybe next year.
I know y'all heard, but.
Maybe next year. And then I did mention that Karsten D, somebody named Karsten D sent in a thank you a while ago. So they were very cute.
Friend went to the extension office on Friday and made homemade strawberry preserves.
Oh.
And they were delicious.
We
And
didn't-
homemade biscuits.
We didn't get those.
I know, I
We
did.
didn't get those. You did.
Over
Mom
early
got
dinner.
them. Those kids were so cute. Those kids are sharp.
Getting a strawberry shortcake.
Okay, does that cover everything that we need for today's meeting?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
All right, we've got a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion made, seconded. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign. And